Welcome back. Whoa. I was supposed to go first.
I was gonna go.
Oh my gosh.
So, but we did it together in unison. That was great.
I'm Jo'Van.
I am Brandice.
And you're watching Closing the Gap.
Gap.
Whew, it's been a minute since we had a live, and it was just you and I.
I know.
And that's a good thing.
And yes, like,
yeah.
well, maybe they do like, no, maybe the audience are like, no, where's other people because we don't like you guys.
No, we got guests. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's good. We need to keep that going.
No, I'm just saying maybe they're upset about it just being us two today.
Oh, man, probably.
They were like,
Yeah.
oh, dang, it's just... But stay, guys. Do not leave. It's just us two. But guess what? We're old faithful. You know us. You love us, right?
Yeah, the formula works, man. You see,
right.
like, you know, we don't have to always bring in extra people.
Right.
But it's nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Whew. Well, first off, it's been really hot today.
Oh my gosh.
And go ahead.
No, I'll just say I don't know where you guys are in the States, but listen, it is hot down here in the dirty South.
It is.
I'm not ready for the summer because listen, if it's already like almost 90 degrees consistently every day, you catch me inside.
That means it's gonna be at least 200 in July.
Nah, listen, you will catch me in air conditioning all summer long.
All this chocolate gonna melt, man. I don't know. It's gonna be bad.
That's a darker shirt by the summer.
Right. Hey, I had to represent it. This is Tony Baker. You know what I'm saying? He ain't paying me, but I like the shirt. It feels good. So
Tony Baker is dope. Like,
he
we
is.
saw him when we came to Birmingham, and he's so funny. So shout out to you, Tony Baker. Maybe you'll see this one day. You're like, hey, I never knew.
That'd be crazy. That'd be the most random thing if we got Tony Baker out here.
Listen, of all the people we kind of like subliminally kind of said, Tony Baker's one person that I would love to have on the show. He's hilarious.
He's
I
hilarious.
love him. Just a dope person. So, do we have any people on the live yet?
Oh, Artisha.
Hey, Artisha.
She likes your ponytail.
Thank you, girl. Trying to, who is that? Willow? Rock my hair? No.
Whip my hair.
Yeah, there you go.
Rock my hair? Wow.
So, there you go.
Me knowing more Willow Smith songs than her.
Well, you're a baby, so.
Okay, first of all, when Whip My Hair came out, I was in high school and she was like, what, like 9? She was like 9.
It's about like your same age.
Wow. You see how I'm treated? You see how I'm treated out here?
Just kidding. Thank you, Artisha. I had to throw something together.
Artisha, real quick though. You're not going to talk about my ponytail?
Yes, you got a ponytail.
That thing's got length.
Yes, lean check. What? Look at that.
Look at that. Hey, don't put my rubber bands out.
All right.
I worked hard for this.
But yes. So, we were just having fun, guys, because we have not done a live, just us two.
Right.
I feel like we have to be, not serious, but we have to be on our best behavior when we have guests. But when it's just us two.
Yeah, we have to sit there like,
we know what we're talking about here.
Wow, really? Okay. You know what I'm saying? No.
Right.
But no, we love our guests, and we always
do.
learn a lot. And so if you
Definitely.
haven't seen like on the funeral, Are You Ready to Die?
Yes.
And then the mental health, and then our live with West Cam.
Yes.
You know, like
forgot about West
go
Cam.
and check those out because there's a lot of good information in there.
Definitely. So, guys.
Come on, Nub. That's what I'm talking about. The Nub need love.
The Nub need love.
They don't rhyme for no reason. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
I love it. Alrighty, guys. So we got a spicy topic.
Spicy. It's hot.
It's hot.
Like the weather.
Ooh. Is that what you were trying to set up earlier?
I was, but we kind of got off.
Oh, okay, I didn't know where you were going with that, so I was like, I'm gonna run with it. Okay, sorry. Well, yes, we have a spicy topic today. We're talking about none other than
The GOAT.
R.I.P. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yes.
For real.
So we're not gonna be disrespectful because obviously.
Yeah.
But we do want to talk about some of his opinions that stirred a lot of controversial on the internet.
Yes. Very polarizing person.
Yes.
He's still better than Derek Jackson.
Oh boy, why do we have to bring up his name?
But yeah, hey, look. As we dive into this topic, I mean, if you haven't heard of Kevin Samuels, you're going to hear some about him today. But
Don't learn today.
We're going to talk about it. But if you have some opinions of Kevin Samuels, please drop them in the chat because I'd love to break it down. Let's talk, have a conversation. Was he good for the culture? Was he bad for the culture? good guy, bad guy. You know, like what are people's impressions of him? And
Yes.
you know, usually we wouldn't talk about like Kevin Samuels, but since he passed away, you know, we thought like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I mean, I feel like we wanted to a while, but it's just like
Yeah.
seemed fitting to listen.
Now we have an excuse to do it. You're right.
Well, so, but first, like, for real though, what do you guys think about Kevin Samuels? Were you team Kevin? Were you like anti-Kevin? Were you, I don't know, just personally, I wasn't like not anti-Kevin by any means, but I just never followed him. I never like watched his videos. I just saw
Right.
clips, and I just heard a lot of arguments from like different friend groups.
Right,
So,
right. So tell me about those articles. What was the impression that you got of Mr. Samuels? Okay.
well, first, until I had like, okay, so from a lot of girls, I heard a lot, that he was like, I don't know, like, kind of like not, I want to say a pig, but like kind of like he glorified like the bad guys, like we wanted, I don't know, that's not the best, I don't know, he just gave the not too good of men of time to shine, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Okay. So, and if you can't go into detail on that, that's fine. But like, what like the not good type of men? Like, what?
It's
do you
just
mean by
like I guess wasn't he the one who came up with the phrase like high value men? Is that where that came
yeah,
from?
he popularized the term high value man.
Yeah, so I feel like the whole narrative about like, oh, you take care of me, like I want to be. I mean, obviously in a relationship you want to do both ways, but it seemed
Right.
like it took the focus to me. Again, I'm not a follower, so this is just based on conversations I had with other people.
Right. Right.
That it was all pro man, like girls, you've had your time to shine. This is our time to be on top, and you cater to us. That's how I got it.
Ah, okay. Gotcha,
And so,
gotcha.
yeah,
Pro man, women stink.
yes,
That's the vibe.
that's the vibe on some.
Okay.
But then the guys I talked to about it, they just they said that he was like basically just shedding light on the negative materialistic women who are only after the men for money or whatever the case may be, and trying to show a different light. So again, that's just two different sides. So
Right.
of the coin that I heard, some from women and some from men. So
Yeah.
you were actual follower.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was. I definitely followed him very much so. Okay, wait, hold on. Before we get into that, Artisha, toxic for the culture and gave a voice, not the good kind, to those who always felt small. Just a couple of thoughts. Okay. I mean, I know that what I heard a lot was it was his delivery and the way he said it. He came
Yes.
off very like rude and just mean and like what's the other word I'm looking for? It's just very off-putting, you know. And it's like a lot of times when somebody is saying something, even if it's like good, if you're saying it in a way that makes the person feel bad, then that's what they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember how bad they felt.
Yes.
They're not gonna remember what you said.
Yes, listen, I always say all the time, it's not what you say, it's how you said it. So if they didn't receive what you were saying because you said it in a certain tone, listen, you can be saying, oh, roses are red. And they're like, wait, what? He's so harsh. All you said was roses is red. Okay, Sonia, what'd she say? Sonia Outlaw said, I didn't like how he degraded women based on their looks.
Sonia, can you maybe go into that a little bit more if you can? If not, that's fine. But
Also, we have another one from LaToya Parker Square. He had some good points and said stuff people didn't want to hear, but in a rude way. But his stuff was on point, LOL. Like, listen, LaToya agrees with you. So I mean, from based on several conversations, I do believe, and so the guys I did talk to, I do value their opinion. I don't think they're bad guys, so I do value what they said. So I do believe that he had some points. It's just his delivery, and I think the not so good guys who just ran with it, like, oh, well, he said it, they just like, I think that's what the key was. The ones who weren't the high value men or whatever.
that's almost like a funny term now. you're a high value man, aren't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, people get made fun of like that.
I think he, like, I don't want to bring politics in this, but I think he gave voice to those lower, and he was like, oh, I'm going to be a high value. No, you're not a high value. You have to say you're a high value, you're not a high value man. So that's I'm going to leave that right there.
And I'm a high value man, and if you can't see it, then bye. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We have some more comments coming in.
We do. Y'all come with it.
Doreen, I'm not a fan of how he would say certain things, but I believe social media only pushed the bad clips about him. And I will say I agree with that, because that's what was getting the most clicks and views and impressions. It was the off the wall crazy stuff. But if you watch his entire interviews, I mean, some of them. Now, I will say, I just want to preface this before we get too deep into it. I do not agree with everything this man said. Okay, there were some times where I was just like, bruh, chill. Like, you know what I'm saying?
has a bumper sticker says Kevin Samuels. Just kidding.
My wallet has Kevin Samuels on it. My bumper sticker. It's like honk twice for
both and honk once for Derek Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding.
But no, that was good. But yeah, no, I don't agree with everything this man said, and I agree. Like, sometimes the way he said things, I was just like, bruh, like, I get what you're saying, but you are just, you know. And there's some things I completely disagreed with.
Like,
huh?
I was saying
like. I mean, I think I'll be able to. I can't think of it right off the top, but I know, like, there were certain times where I'm like, oh, you know.
Yeah, and I think it was so unfair that people just saw these clips. I'm just paying devil's advocate people because Artisha.
Yeah,
I saw that.
About me being canceled?
No, I saw, okay. Artisha said a broken clock is right twice a day too.
I love it. He talked about.
Do we need to cancel Jo'Van? Listen, I've tried to cancel Jo'Van. I think he's here to stay.
Listen, you can't.
He said he is a dedicated person, co-host. So today I'm going to speak highly of you.
Oh, thank you.
Listen.
Oh.
Because I give him a hard time all the time. We're not canceling Jo'Van. He drove all the way from Huntsville and going back tonight just for this show. So listen.
I'm here for
today we're not canceling him because I appreciate
all 10 of y'all. I'm here for y'all, bro. Hey, no, but for real. Listen. What was I saying? Oh, we were reading comments. Hold on. They're coming in. Hey, y'all are doing amazing with this. Let's see. Latoya says he talked about men and women, though, which is something people never talk about. If you go back and watch his videos towards men, I remember when the average at best, because that's the thing that made him blow up. It was he told a woman she was average at best, right? And I was just like, my whole thing, we're going to come back to this, is like, what if you are average? Like, can you not say that to a woman? Like, that's what the part I did not get. Like, I didn't get it. But anyway, I went and watched his old videos where he's talking to men, and he was destroying men too. Like, he was just like, he's like, you were broke. you don't dress well. You have no friends. You have no network. And you expect this type of woman that has all these things to just be head over heels for you. You feel like you just deserve that, like the entitlement. And I was like, and you know, it's funny because when I saw that, I was like, yeah, he's got a good point. And like, even me, I was like, man, I got to step my game up in certain areas. But then sometimes I would see some women, I learned that lesson. Don't say women.
Listen,
you say
working on this one.
You say women, then your whole message is gone.
Yes.
But no, I saw that some women, like, you present them with like certain facts, and they completely just act like it doesn't matter. So, but let's get back. Go ahead, and then we get back to the comments.
Just really quick before I forget this, I think it's unfair that a lot of people, because I don't think a lot of people actually follow him and watch all of his whole video. I think people ran with a very small video clip, and that's so unfair to judge this man on just that one sound, you know, and you don't know, he might have said that thought and that explain it or elaborate later. I don't know. You don't know, because if you didn't follow him or watch the whole video, you never know. So I just want to put that out there, because I think a lot of people just ran with those clips and like, oh my gosh, he's horrible. So Doreen said, I watched other videos and he had good points. We have to remember that nobody forced anybody to call him. I wouldn't call him because I don't think my feelings could handle his honesty.
That is such a good
Listen,
point. He's not begging people to call. They're
call
calling.
me.
And you're either calling for one of two things. You're calling to argue with him, or you're calling for advice. And I don't understand why you would call someone for advice
if you don't
when
agree,
you
don't value
respect
his
their opinion. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
That is true. I totally agree. Sonia said, I think she's following up for what you said earlier. She goes, yes, I've heard him say some women who were confident in who they were, a 6 at best. How rude. But okay. Are they cute? I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just listen.
Bro,
listen. This is like a real question. Just because, listen. Was the girl a 6? Sonya, please be real. Like, just it might hurt your feelings, but was it true? That's all I'm asking. I don't know. Now, if it wasn't true, then that's all. I mean, that's his opinion. That's his opinion. Doesn't mean you have to go like, well, he says I'm 6. I'm a 6. No, I'm not going down that road. But yeah, listen, I'm just saying, was it true?
Listen,
so now, like,
no. Because this is my thing, right? I like to use like a job application as an example, right?
I'm just saying.
Some people, men and women, because it's men too. Like some men feel very entitled to stuff that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So men and women, imagine that you're submitting a job application, right? And you send it out to 10 people, 10 employers, and they all don't hire you. Okay? Can you sit there and be like, oh, these employers are crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. How could you not want me? Or do you look at your resume and be like, maybe I can make this a little bit better, or do something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would look crazy if you said it's the employer. So I don't understand how people can like say it's like okay. I feel like your results speak for what you have to offer. That's how I feel. Like, if you're not getting the results you want, maybe it's because you're not attracting that.
Listen, that's true. We got some more comments. So, Santana was just commenting on you when you said, not got to step my game up. Artisha, he was judging everybody else, though. I mean, that's just his opinion. That's his show, that he has his opinion to whatever he believes. So, not saying it's gold and what he said was right, but that's his opinion.
And Artisha, I have a question for you. I want you to respond in the chat, right? My question is, you said he didn't have to say it out loud online. But to me, isn't some of the responsibility on the person who called into the show, which is an online show, when you know like that's how he is? Like, where's the accountability for the person that called? Because if I know that there's certain things that Kevin is not gonna not like about me, but is gonna call out, why would I call in, tell him like, yeah, this is me, and then get mad when he calls me out on it, knowing that that's what he's gonna say? To me, that makes no sense.
So sorry, Artisha. To retract it, but it was funny. So Artisha did say she agreed with Kevin said. She said she wasn't cute, the guy.
Oh.
So
okay.
I'm just gonna put that out there. Sorry, I should have called her name out for that one, but that's what you said. So I don't follow, so I don't know the girl, but.
And look, we can't also act like there's not right now we're talking about physical attractiveness. This thing is a lot deeper than just physical, by the way, and we're gonna get into that. But what I want to say is we can't sit here and act like everyone's on the same scale. Like, I know I'm not Michael B. Jordan. I know I'm not Morris Chestnut. Okay, I know if Michael B. Jordan is considered a 10 to a specific person, I'm probably like a 6 because Michael B. Jordan. He's Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And
there's some people out there who are crazy who don't believe that Michael B. Jordan is fine. So listen, I've heard people like, I don't see what you see in him. I'm like, fine? You don't see fine? Listen.
What would you say about me if I walked around saying, if you said, what do you think? You say, Jo'Van, where are you at a 10? And I said, 10. You're like.
And as a person that you should have that confidence in
You can
yourself.
say that. You can say that, but don't
Exactly.
get upset if someone disagrees.
Right. Listen, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
So they didn't behold your beauty.
I just think, and I feel like as a guy, I don't know, I can't say even as a guy, because I can take that type of criticism, I don't understand all the time why other people can't take that type of criticism, especially when you ask for it. Anyway, let's get back to the comments.
Yes, because listen, people are going in. She didn't have to say, oh, okay.
She could have elevated confidence.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
We're not bashing confidence.
Yeah,
should have it.
you yourself have all the confidence you want, girl. You're beautiful. You're handsome. Whatever. But you can't bash anybody for not seeing that with you. And that doesn't diminish your light in yourself either.
No.
Just because they don't see it doesn't mean that you're not a queen, you're not beautiful, all that. They just don't see your beauty, and it's okay. That's not your person. That's not your intended audience. That's all I'm saying. So I don't want people to say, well, whatever. That's all I'm saying. They don't have to agree with your confidence. You should have confidence. You should think you're the best thing since whatever about yourself. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with, I don't know. I don't. A lot of my friends don't think that Trevor Noah is funny or whatever. But that doesn't change my fact how I feel about him. And I think that's what
My
my
boy Markel, shout out. He said Kevin Samuels is top 5 in the manosphere. Hey, I want you to break that down because
Please break that down for us,
but break it down for everybody.
yes, because yeah.
Didn't behold your beauty is hilarious. Okay.
Listen, I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
So one of the things that I really opened my eye. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I didn't agree with everything Kevin Samuels said, but one thing that I really appreciate this man for is that he opened my eyes to some of the double standards that exist between men and women. And one of those, the biggest one, is the idea of having preferences. Like, a woman can say, I want a man 6 feet, chocolate, tall, dark, and handsome. And I want him to have 6 figures and all this stuff, right? And everyone's like, you go, girl. You know what I'm saying? You go get that man. You know what I'm saying? But if a dude says, I want...
Hello, Monica Parker.
I want my woman to not already have kids, multiple kids, or I want her a certain shape. Immediately, he's like looked at as less than. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was starting to notice. I was just like, how can you... Everyone's entitled to their preferences, no matter what they are. Like, I feel like that should just be settled, like, for once and for all. And we shouldn't put other people down for having a preference. Everyone's entitled to their own preference. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. But you're allowed to want whatever you want. Like, I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to speak. I mean, you got.
No, I agree with you. I have
Okay.
nothing to review. Like, I agree with you. Everybody's entitled to their own preferences.
Yeah. So I just think the double standard is a little ridiculous, and it's something. It was so interesting because a lot of the women, some of the women.
Listen.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. In 2021, I felt like I understood this thing so well, and so I was having conversations with different women about this topic, and I had some points, but then other points I was getting beat down because I think I was generalizing big time.
Yes, you cannot
Yeah.
generalize.
So I've definitely grown from having a lot of conversations about this, but I think we can all agree that there's some people in every group that think differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some women that they only think, and even the men, I'm gonna say men and women. There's some men and women that only think about what they want out of the person that they're going for, but they don't think about what that type of person would want. And I feel like you have to think about that.
Do you meet up to that?
If you can actually meet their expectations.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you're going to be chasing something that you are not appealing towards, you know? And then you will stay single if you do that. So I feel like people need to be more realistic about who they are and they can actually attract. Because then if you're at least honest with yourself, you can work on
these
yourself.
comments.
Oh, okay, I'm talking too much. Chris, here we go.
So Doreen said, facts. I want Chris Evans, but I'm not going to. Listen, put it out there, girl. You never know.
She said she want Captain America.
Mr. Sadler said, Want what you want. Don't step on others, though. Okay.
Right. Don't tell someone like you can't want that.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right? Yeah. You can't say you can't want it.
Sonia Outlaw. The difference is women are often condemned for having preferences. Men are applauded for having them. Interesting.
Okay. I want you to. Hold on. So
I hear
that you said basically the opposite of what I said. Okay.
Interesting, but there's a delay, so I wonder if she said that before you said yours. So curious.
Well, and just in case that there wasn't a delay, can you give an example of a preference that women are slandered for? I mean, that's the best word I could come up with.
Well, because I don't want to. I think a lot of times men's preference are based on looks, and as opposed to. Like,
I mean, that's facts.
No,
looks.
yeah. And I feel like ours is not as geared towards looks. So, and I think that's why when we want somebody, even like want somebody to have like a certain amount of money or I don't know. I'm just naming stuff, not saying this for me, but like, or a certain height or whatever the case may be, then it's like, oh, well, you're whatever. But you want somebody with a big booty and whatever. So why we can judge for, I don't know. That's why I think, Sonia, so correct me if I'm wrong, Sonia. Let's see.
Our teacher said, Captain
Get
America,
back, get your man, girl. Okay, Cicely says she agrees with Sonia. Okay, a lot of people agree with Sonia. Doreen said that would be a dream. Okay, Monica Parker said, I think you should bring as much to the table as the man and vice versa. That is so true. Okay, so everybody's agreeing with it. So your friend is coming with it. Is that Markel? He said his whole message was about self-improvement and not being deluded by your ego. And he gave the same smoke to everybody. See, Sonia, I know you. She said that's exactly what she meant when I said it. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, I can get down with Markel. He did give the same smoke.
He did.
According to Jo'Van again, I didn't.
We'll watch the videos where he's talking to men, and I can't even say all the stuff that he was saying to men because we got kids in the building. But I will say that he definitely gave the same smoke, but he blew up, and that's the good question. Why did he blow up when he was talking to women? It's because you can talk to a man way more aggressively as a man than you can talk to a woman as a man.
Because you're a man coming to us. You don't you're not a woman, so I can see that. I can possibly see that part.
I mean, it gets a little confusing.
Who are you, Kevin Jackson? Just like I feel like about Derrick Jackson. Who are you?
Yeah.
That's my.
So let's see if we got but yeah, I think. Okay. I was getting the producer look. I was like, but no. Yeah, I mean, I think he gave the same smoke to everybody. Like, I agree with Markel. I don't think he gave special treatment. I definitely think that, maybe he could have said things a little bit lighter sometimes. But it was refreshing to see that directness. And he wasn't pandering. Like I'm going to talk about Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson, he got his popularity from pandering to women and just telling them anything they wanted to hear, and he was doing the opposite. And
that is true.
And I mean, I think we can all agree if we're going to have a partner, if we want them to be honest with us and not just tell us what we want to hear. And if you can't take and I'm not saying everything Kevin Samuels said was the truth.
I was like, thank you for correcting that.
I get PTSD. I'm like, I remember when I said that in 2021. I feel like I got a whooping. You know what I'm saying? But nah. And then this is the other thing. I think accountability. Like, I think that was the other thing that I saw was he was holding certain people accountable for them where they were in life and them wanting certain things and feeling like they were entitled to it. And he was like holding them accountable for it, and they didn't like that.
Oh, yes. So recently, Pastor Jamal came out, and I'll let you speak on this because you saw the video. What do you think about first? What is Archie just said? I'm bringing up my counsel, Jo'Van. Listen, Artisha. I'm sticking up for Jo'Van today, and we're not counseling Jo'Van. Listen, never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but we're not counseling Jo'Van today. I'll stand up for him today. Tomorrow,
Man.
next week might be a different conversation. But today, I am standing up for
Hey,
my co-host.
I'm like Kanye. You can't cancel me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't cancel me.
We got it. Okay. I think.
Oh, Brian, that's my boy. So, Brian, it's definitely because of a mixture. I think it's mostly because of how he said it.
Yes, I think we talked about that earlier. It's
Yeah,
like
Mostly.
how he said it was definitely harsh, and I don't think people can received what he was his point he was trying to get out.
But I will point out there were also a lot of women that did receive what he said, and he really only turned up on the ones that were being disrespectful to him, because that did happen. Like, there were people on there that were disrespectful to him, and then that's when he really turned up. Like, he fed off of that, you know. So
Mike Park said, didn't he say women over 35 are washed out and not wanted by men? Foolishness. Listen, I didn't hear that, but if he did say that, it is foolishness. And again, everything he said was not the truth. So I already stood by that from the beginning. Like, I was not a follower of him from the jump anyway. I was just saying that you can't judge him based on those small clips, but he did say some foolish stuff. So I'm not going to try to point that he was like this like good guy who's like, I said all the truth or facts, whatever, because of some of the stuff he was foolish, and that is very foolish. That's not the truth.
And I agree. That is not true. That is not true. I mean, just because you're over a certain age doesn't mean you can't find love. I don't think.
Right.
I mean, I don't think anyone would agree with that. So,
Pastor Jamal.
Yeah.
So first, explain what he said.
I mean,
and then we can go from there.
I don't know. Like, I saw the clip. I can't remember everything that he said.
Just to recap.
But my thing with Pastor Jamal is, I felt like what he was saying was like talking about like this happened after Kevin Samuels died, by the way, and this man was going in. Pastor Jamal was going in on Kevin Samuels after he died, talking about like, you know, how he hurt black women and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, where was this energy when he was alive? Okay. Second off, I just feel like he didn't really get into, from what I saw, he didn't get into like specifics of why he had issues with him. Because I get it. A lot of women don't like Kevin Samuels. But some of these women don't like him because he holds them accountable for this decisions that they made in their life or how they're carrying themselves. So I wish he had got into that. I kind of rolled my eyes when I saw him ranting during the service.
So were you did you feel some kind of way because he said it after he died, or would you have to feel the same way if he
mostly? Because it's not like it's not like everyone was holding this man up as a hero. That's not what happened. Like, this is very divided. This is a very divisive person. Mm-hmm. Okay, very polarizing person based on what he says and his opinions. So I feel like he went the extra mile to, like, he was already 6 feet under and he put some extra dirt on him. Like, I feel like that's how I took it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Michael Parker said, he said, if you made it to 35 and you are unmarried, you are a leftover woman. He said that in one of his videos, you are what is left. Men know that there is something likely wrong with you. Really? Yeah, that is a red flag. Just like Markel said, like, listen, like you just said, everything he said was not, nobody, and I don't think anybody like held him to, well, there were those people who believed that they were high-valued men who said, oh, yes, I'm a high-valued man. He said it, there's something wrong with you. And I think the wrong audience took what he said and ran with it, and I think that was the issue. However, the mass majority didn't believe like everything that he said was that you kind of took the good things and kind of like, okay, you're just foolish. Yes, I wasn't going to say that, but yes, exactly.
What did I say?
Just like the Trumpers.
Oh, explain.
Just like you had like, oh my God. So just like our former President Trump, he had like followers who like had his people who just ran and agreed with everything he said, and just gave them kind of like power or this like enlightenment, like, oh my gosh, I have this freedom to be like, let all my racist things fly. Just like the foolishness that Kevin did say gave these high-valued men, please show them I'm not really calling them, they felt the same entitlement and like, oh yes, this is my time to shine. You women need to do X, Y, and Z, do what, you know. So I feel like that was the same kind of power they felt when Trump followers felt that way, and I think Kevin's followers felt the same exact way. Like they gave them power and entitlement to say foolish stuff on the internet.
So let me ask the chat: do you believe a high value man exists? And if you do, how would you define that? Because the way he defined it was a man who it wasn't just about money. It was about money, influence, and network, I believe. Because having a network of high status people or people that have power in the community and things like that does make you more valuable because you do have more access to things. If you are like someone that just sits in a house all day and you don't know anybody, you do not have the same pull as someone that does know a lot of people that have power. So that's one of the metrics that he used. You know, I mean, obviously having money is cool, but that doesn't necessarily make you valuable to the people around you. That just means you have money. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do y'all think? And then, yeah, just let us know.
Yes.
Do you even think it exists? Or what do you think of when you hear that term? Do you roll your eyes? Because I know a lot of people do.
I'll roll my eyes, especially if you have to, like I said at the beginning, if you have to call yourself a high value man, you're not a high value man. That's all I got to say about that. And so I do roll my eyes every time I hear that. I'm like, roll all around.
Yeah. So,
but yeah. So what do you guys think in the comments about the high value man and just so we can wrap this up before we go on too much longer, your final thoughts about Mr. Samuels or any more?
I feel like I had this one other thing.
What was your one other thing?
Hold on.
While he looks it up, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We would love to you to follow us and get the updates every time we drop a new episode every Thursday at 9 a.m. unless we're doing a live like we're doing right now, and that will be at 6:15 on Thursdays. So, and just a heads up, just a quick plug while he gets this up. So, probably in like next 2 weeks, Jo'Van and I will be going to
Railroad Park.
There you go. I went blank on the park. I was going to say Freedom Park. I was like, what? We'll be going to Railroad Park and interviewing the people out there. So if you want to be part of the show and be interviewed by yours truly, come out to Railroad Park 2 weeks from today at 6:15 at Railroad Park. We'd love to see you. Enjoy.
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. So that is what date? Somebody help me in the comments.
June something.
June 2nd. Thursday, June 2nd at 6:15.
Me checking my schedule in my head while I'm on my...
Listen, we do this every 2 weeks. So if he doesn't know when we're airing, like, listen, I'm going to eat some. We might have to cancel. I'm just kidding.
I'm weak. Nah.
Anywho. But yes, tune in. We have some more. Okay. You go ahead. Oh, this is some more. I was like, wait. Some more things that he said. Women like you die alone straight up because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. You are average in looks. Oh, gosh.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's unpack it. Okay, so what I'm saying this with no stance, okay? What about that statement is problematic? Let's just talk about it. Everybody, let's just talk about it. I want everyone to say what is problematic about that statement.
How you gonna tell somebody you're gonna die alone? Like, you don't know me. Like,
no. See, that's what we need in the chat. That's what I'm talking about.
That's just like, even if let's put it out here. Let's just say I called in and I had. Say I was going through something. Maybe I was the issue.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Comments, I swear. I'm just gonna be like total whatever.
Okay.
let's just say I called in, I had an issue, and I was the problem. I was like the issue. I feel like, though, even if I was the problem, I was very problematic with my call advice I needed, and I was horrible. I still don't think I would ever say, like, I would give her advice, like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. But to say, like, oh, you would die alone. This is why nobody would choose you. What? Like, how's that helping her or anybody for that matter?
Okay.
That's my thoughts process of, like, so, Lord. Oh, gosh. That is your friend. Okay.
That is my friend.
I'm just kidding. He said, sit down, be humble. Oh my gosh. Artisha says, you can't talk crazy like that to God's handiwork. That is true. Just to play devil's advocate, but that was just his opinion. Not saying it was right, but that was just. I agree with you, Artisha. I'm just saying he had a platform and that was his opinion. But that's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate right here.
Oh gosh.
A person. Now, I know to say you're going to die alone is a very harsh statement. That is a very harsh statement to say to somebody. So let's take that piece out for a second, right? If a person, man or woman, has certain standards that they do not attract, should they continue to chase those standards, or should they lower them so they can get what they are wanting, which is a relationship? Or should they keep their standards and just risk never finding that? That's my question. Because that's a decision that person has to make.
True.
That's a real decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have to do something.
But I think that is true. And you're correct. I think it's just like we said already, it's just his delivery, a lot of things.
Right. And I agree. That's why I said the die alone part is very, very, rough and
because I don't know what the person says, so there's that. I'm not taking up for him what he said at all.
Yeah. I'm not taking up for it either. But I feel like people should think about that deep past the part. And I know that's hard. Like when you hear something that just makes you feel like, what the enrages you? You don't even care about the message. So that's why I'm saying, okay, yeah, that was bad. Let's move that aside. But realistically, I could talk about I'm gonna marry Megan Good all I want, but you know what I'm saying? Like the likelihood that that's gonna happen.
She's single now today.
She's single. But this is Go
ahead,
you know what I'm saying? And it's not even that if I would want that, it's like I'm holding out for that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay, so we have another comment from Cicely McElrath. She was one of our guests back in the day. COVID episode, remember?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I think Kevin was a good dude with some good points. I think people gave him too much power and ultimately got their feelings hurt. Okay, I can see that, and I think that is true because like we said before, he did have some good points. I'm not saying everything he said. Again, everything he said was not good, obviously from some of the comments we've seen that he said. But I think when people have too much power, they start feeling themselves and start doubling down. I think that's what he did.
I mean, I feel like the community. I'm sorry. I know I'm addressing without reading it. Artisha, I'm gonna read all the comments. Artisha says, "I think you shouldn't think of yourself higher than you ought to think. That's Bible. Just be introspective. It's just like who appointed him to deliver this harsh news to people." Okay. Well, before we continue, did you want to say something to that?
No, you go ahead.
Well, I feel like that applies to everybody though. Like some women think of themselves higher than they are. Some men think they are.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's everybody. So when you think you're higher than where you are, what do? You either stay up there and with where you don't really belong, or you come down here and find peace there.
Yeah. Well, and then also, just like you said earlier, these people were called. I think Doreen said this actually. These people are calling, and nobody forced them to call in and ask for his advice.
Right.
You already know that he's problematic, and his issues has all this stuff. Is going to say things in a harsh way. But these people were calling in and seeking his advice. He didn't go seeking them and saying, "Oh, well, this person on my time," you know. So it was like he was giving his advice, his opinion to people who seeked it from him, so they valued what he had to say.
They valued what he had to say.
So,
like, they appointed him. The people that are the people that didn't like his opinion appointed him by watching his show, by sharing his clips, by calling into the show. Like, it wasn't a government mandate, you know?
Yeah. Cicely McElrath, she said, again, y'all gave him too much power. At the end of the day, he was a man. His advice wasn't going to fit everyone. Wow. So.
Yeah. And then, Markel, work to be the best you possible and pick from the best options you have available.
I mean, I don't see how anyone could have a problem with that statement.
Yeah.
That's
and
me.
Again, we can find clips of quotes that are good or not bad. And I think that's you can say that about a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure. The thing is, just like I said earlier about clips, I'm pretty sure if you took like one sentence I said out of this show, you might be like, oh my gosh, like I said, oh, she's not cute, something like that. If somebody just took that and didn't go on for me to explain myself, they're like, oh, she's like, oh, anti-woman, she doesn't, not, you know? So I think we have to realize that this is a small fraction of what he said, and I don't know. Again, this is coming from somebody who didn't watch all his stuff, but I have to go with an open mind, knowing that I don't know this man as a person, so I can't stand and judge based on this small little clip that I saw on Instagram or on whatever. So we don't know the full story. We don't know what the person said or whatever. So that's my point in this.
And then I just want to add in this one thing. We have to accept the fact that in this world, certain things about you give you more or less options when it comes to picking a partner. Like, everyone knows that a man who's 6'5", who makes six figures, has way more options than a man who's 5'5" and broke, okay? Like, that is just facts. Like, that exists. So that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he's got that many options, he's not going to just pick anybody, you know? Mm-hmm. That's just facts.
Yeah. So Brian said, I think he said things the way he said them, not saying that it was right, because the people he would give advice to wouldn't listen otherwise. And then another one, Cicely, not lower, but maybe look inside yourself and see why you're not attracting what you want.
That's facts.
They may need to change their standards, or their standard may not be what God wants for them. Well, and I think the way you word that is better than as opposed to saying you're gonna die alone.
Absolutely.
And you're not, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think to sum up everything we said, I think it's all about his delivery.
Yeah.
Because I think somebody could have received what you said, Cicely, better than you're gonna die alone. You think too highly of yourself, whatever the case may be. You know. So
Right.
I think it's all about how you say things. So, we don't. We can listen. I know we can talk all
We really
night
can. Yeah,
about Mr. Samuels and his opinions that he had, but we're not going to keep you guys all night. We have other shows to record, so
Long drives to make.
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for
Yes.
joining our live. I really appreciate all of the comments. You make it fun. Like if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't do live, because we need you guys to make this
1000%.
entertaining. If not, we can just talk amongst ourselves and do recording. But you guys make our lives fun, so continue joining, continue commenting and all the things. And again, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And June 2nd, we'll be at Railroad Park, 6:15.
Yeah, come out and sweat with us, because it's gonna be like
Woo!
100 degrees.
Bring some water,
Come on,
towels, everything, air conditioner, fans, everything. Bring it, please.
Right. All right. Well, hey, thank y'all for participating today. It was great. We had a lot of great discussion, and we will see y'all next time.
Whoop whoop.